What happened when you hid your success from your family and they kept calling you a disappointment? I own the trucking company, but my family has no idea. To them, I'm still the daughter who failed in life, especially to my dad. When I was 22, I told him I was leaving college to become a truck driver. He looked at me like I had thrown my future away. A woman can't do that job, he said. You'll quit in a few months. No man will respect you. He said trucking was for men and that I wouldn't survive it, but he didn't know the real reason I did it. My mom had gotten sick and the hospital bills were crushing us. My dad kept pretending everything was fine, but I could hear the truth in the way he talked at night. One night, I heard my mom crying because they might lose the house. The next morning, I dropped out of college. Not because I wanted to, because someone had to step in. The first years were brutal. Men laughed at me at truck stops. Some said I wouldn't last. One driver even told me, "You'll be gone in 6 months." I proved them wrong. I drove through snow, exhaustion, and loneliness. I slept in my truck to save money. At the same time, my dad kept treating me like a failure. At family dinners, he proudly talked about my cousins' careers, then looked at me and said, "She just drives trucks," like it meant nothing. But while they were laughing at me, I was building something quietly. One truck became two, two became five. I taught myself everything: business, contracts, logistics, late nights in truck stops with coffee and notebooks. Years later, I owned a full trucking company, warehouses, employees, contracts across states, but I still let my family believe I was just a driver. Because when I once helped my brother financially, the whole family suddenly started treating me like a bank. That's when I learned the truth. If they find out you have money, you stop being family and become a resource. So I stayed quiet. Last Christmas almost broke me. That morning, I signed the biggest contract of my life. I stood in my warehouse crying because I remembered the girl who used to sleep alone in her truck. That night, at dinner, my dad laughed and said, "At least you can change a tire for us someday." Everyone laughed, even me. But inside, it hurt badly, because they didn't know I had secretly paid their overdue property taxes for 2 years. I had saved their house without them even realizing it. Then my dad said, "I wish you had become someone I could be proud of." And I almost told him everything. But my mom looked at me quietly and shook her head. She knew people wouldn't respect the truth. She died 7 months later. Cancer took her slowly. In her last days, she held my hand and said, "You proved them wrong." Then she added softly, "All of them."